When people talk about Disney's Aladdin from the 16-bit era, the debate almost always comes up: Genesis or Super Nintendo. Both versions share the same name and source material, but they're completely different games. The Genesis version was developed by Virgin Games with animation from Disney's own studios, while the SNES version came from Capcom, directed by the legendary Shinji Mikami, who'd later go on to create Resident Evil. So today, let's take a look at Capcom's Aladdin for the Super Nintendo, a bright, energetic platformer that focuses less on sword combat and more on precision, exploration, and pure platforming charm. Released in 1993, Aladdin follows the story of the animated film pretty closely. You play as the street-smart hero as he runs, jumps, and swings his way through Agrabah, the Cave of Wonders, and the Sultan's palace, on a quest to defeat the evil Jafar and win the heart of Princess Jasmine. The plot unfolds through small cutscenes and text screens, but the visuals do a great job of keeping that Disney magic alive, even without elaborate storytelling. From the very first level, it's clear that Capcom was aiming for a different tone than Sega's take. Instead of sword-fighting guards, Aladdin relies on agility and clever movement. He can bounce off enemies, climb poles, swing from bars, and throw apples to stun enemies. This gives the game a faster, more acrobatic feel, almost like Prince of Persia meets Mega Man. The controls are incredibly tight, which is one of Capcom's hallmarks. Every jump feels precise, and Aladdin's movement is fluid and responsive. There's a real sense of rhythm as you chain jumps, swings, and wall climbs to navigate each stage. The level design leans heavily on this momentum, encouraging players to stay in motion and use their platforming skills creatively. Each stage brings its own variety, from escaping the guards in Agrabah's marketplace to exploring the glittering Cave of Wonders filled with collapsing platforms and deadly lava. Later, there's even a magic carpet escape sequence that offers a fast-paced break from the usual action. It's not quite as flashy as the Genesis version's chase scene, but it's still a fun and memorable highlight. Graphically, Aladdin on SNES is a treat. Capcom's artists nailed the colorful, hand-drawn Disney look, with expressive animations and richly detailed backgrounds. Agrabah's rooftops glow with warm oranges, while the palace gardens and desert caverns are full of depth and texture. The animation isn't as fluid as the Genesis version, but the artwork feels cleaner and more consistent with Capcom's signature SNES style. And then there's the music. Composed by Yuki Iwai, the soundtrack reimagines the classic songs from the movie in that rich SNES sound font. Themes like Arabian Nights and A Friend Like Me sound absolutely wonderful, giving each stage a sense of adventure and wonder. The sound effects are punchy and satisfying, and Aladdin's cheerful Yahoo when collecting gems adds to the light-hearted mood. In terms of difficulty, Aladdin hits a nice balance. It's approachable enough for younger players, but offers just enough challenge to keep you on your toes. The later stages introduce trickier platforming sections, but the responsive controls make them fair rather than frustrating. It's not a long game. You can finish it in under an hour once you know the stages, but it's the kind of experience you'll want to revisit for its sheer fun factor. If there's a criticism, it's that the SNES version might feel a little tame compared to the flashier Genesis counterpart. There's no sword combat, and it's overall less cinematic. But where the Genesis version leans on visual spectacle, Capcom's Aladdin shines through its gameplay. It's smoother, tighter, and more polished as a platformer. Arguably the more refined game overall. In the end, Disney's Aladdin on the Super Nintendo is a classic example of Capcom firing on all cylinders during their golden era of licensed games. It's colorful, challenging, and full of personality. A perfect blend of Disney magic and tight 16-bit game design. Whether you're a fan of the film, a retro collector, or just love a well-made platformer, Capcom's Aladdin remains one of the most charming adventures on the SNES.